How's it going, everyone? I'm back with another video. This time we're going to take a look at Construct 3. So a couple months ago I did some Game Maker Studio 2 stuff, and I really wanted to just make a couple videos to get back into the swing of things. And then I started writing a lot of different content for Game Maker. So if you haven't checked that out, it's at weeklypowerup.com. But today I want to talk about Construct 3. It's been a very long time since Construct's been out. I've been a part of it since the very beginning, but I haven't used it in a really long time. So this will be new for me as well. They've added some really exciting things, and I still think to this day that Construct is the fastest way to get a game up and running with no experience whatsoever. It's great software for teaching anybody of all ages, especially if you've never programmed before. There's so many nice things about Construct that it was frustrating to see Construct 3 just be Construct 2 in the browser. However, being in the browser does make it OS agnostic, and that's really nice too, because it doesn't matter what operating system you're running, you can still make games in the cloud. So there's a lot of great things being added to Construct 3, and I just figured we'd chat about it. Again, I haven't really been a part of the Construct community in a little while, but everybody knows me from Construct. And I just kind of took a step back from it. I was feeling like I had done a lot of things with the event sheets and everything I could do with programming inside a Construct that I wanted another challenge. And so I wanted to take that to the next level with actually programming, which led me to other software. But in Construct now, we can actually add in JavaScript, which will be really exciting. I can just right click and make a new JavaScript, and I've actually never really done that much JavaScript, so this will be very interesting to learn. It'll be fun to see how it works. The most exciting project that I am excited to look at is under scripting, and then they've completely cloned the Ghost Shooter, the old tutorial, into a only JavaScript-based game, no event sheets. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm really excited to see what they do with that. And to see other people making games with JavaScript, and maybe I'll make some tutorials on how to actually use this. That'll be really cool. So that's something to really look forward to. If we actually just look at this real quickly, you'll see here that it's just going to open up this project. Here's my test project. I can close that. Don't save. And then here's the Ghost Shooter in code. What is going on here? Well, let's just hit preview. It's literally the same exact game. Oh, you use the arrow keys. And it's just done with JavaScript instead of events. For some people, this might be a little more confusing. I'm sure everybody is going to be a little bit more confused by this. Because when you actually take a look at the original Ghost Shooter demo, it was like one event sheet. It's really nice. And it actually puts it into a very interesting position where, you know, now you can see how wonderful these event sheets actually are when you're looking at how one event sheet is equal to 4 different JavaScript files. You can see how much easier it is for people to learn to program with this. So that's something that's really exciting. Another thing that's really exciting is timelines. From what I understand, it's going to help us animate things a little bit better. Where is it? Let's see where it is. So there's timelines. You can make your own custom ease for the timeline. So I can add a timeline, which this might be my very first time doing this, so forgive me. But essentially, from what I gather, you add the timeline behavior, and then, okay, so that's the timeline object. We are learning this in real time. Double click on the timeline. We might, oh, okay. Let's try this again. Let's reload. Let's go back to the Ghost project. Open project. Timelines can be added to the project in the following ways: with the timelines folder in the project bar, with the timeline option of the layout context menu. So we got some learning to do here, but I'm pretty sure what it's going to let us do is actually create, just like any animation software, we can actually start to animate things and then trigger events from the timeline. So that's my basic understanding of it. That will be really interesting for things like activating hidden doors or boss fights or anything you can really think of where you need to control the scenario a little bit more rather than just letting your code do all the work. That should be really interesting. And then I know that you can just add in custom eases as well. So if you do animate and you know how easing works in like After Effects, you can actually create your own curves and stuff like that, which would be really nice. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about really quick and bring to everyone's attention is just the tween behavior. They finally added in a tween behavior. Oh, I'm adding an object. Wow, it's been a while. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go to the player and then add the tween behavior. And now we can actually tween the player from point A to point B using the same type of eases that we could in the timeline. So that's pretty cool too. Let's actually just open up an example of that rather than me stumble through it. So in this event sheet here, let's see what they did. So they're using the touch behavior, which I find interesting, versus using the mouse object. Man, I'm getting all the terms confused. Forgive me. So this works on mobile as well, and I think that's why it's better to use the touch behavior because it also works with the mouse. HTML5 is really taken off. It's really, really nice. I think that is another big pro to using Construct versus GameMaker Studio, is just that the GameMaker HTML5 stuff is nowhere near as nice as Construct. It's completely far behind. But this is really cool. So I click, and it says tween property position to touch X, touch Y in 3 seconds using an in-out, I'm not going to pronounce that, type of sine wave, I guess, or easing in. And then it's also going to set the angle to wherever we clicked, plus 90. And it's going to take roughly 1 second to actually rotate with the angle there. And then it's going to take 3 seconds for it to get to where I clicked. So that's really, really cool. I like that they added in tween behavior, which is kind of interesting because in the past we'd always just kind of make a new sprite, right? And then we would, let's just make it something like this so we can actually see it. We would make a new sprite, and then we would add the sine wave behavior, and then we can just move things back and forth as well. Yeah, that's fine. That should work. Just like that. So this will be really interesting. It's going to be a lot easier, a lot done for you. And I like that now with the scripting, we can actually interact with these already done for you behaviors. It's really shaping up. I'm really, really liking it. And then on top of all that, they have a bunch of add-ons, which is really cool. I've only gotten to mess with a couple of them, but I like that this marketplace is growing, and I like seeing Construct 3 actually start to really become different from Construct 2. It's really nice to see that. There are things that I still, really dislike about it in terms of just like find frustrating, but I think I can get over that pretty quickly because making games in Construct is the fastest way and it's the easiest way. And so if you're prototyping or if you just have an idea for a game, you should use Construct, get the idea out there, and then if you are really unsatisfied with the limitations, which there's becoming less and less, but if you are really unsatisfied, then take it to software that can do a little bit more. There's so much software out there now between Godot and Unity and Unreal becoming even more accessible. I mean, it's a hopping marketplace. It's a time to be a game creator, that's for sure. So I just wanted to chat a little bit about Construct 3. If you guys want to know anything specifically about Construct 3, I'm going to be learning more about it throughout the week here and messing around with it. If you have any ideas on things that you have questions on, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm posting every single week on weeklypowerup.com. It's a newsletter / blog at the moment, but I've been doing it for about 2 months now, and I find it to be very enjoyable just to kind of talk about game development and game design and do some tutorials here and there on how we can make coding a little bit easier, especially for people who are coming from something like Construct. But I really would like to make more Construct videos and more GameMaker videos going forward, and then we'll just see where that takes us. But thank you for watching this one, and I hope to see you in the next one.